Welcome to the Russell Hant Show. We
Hi.
have Libby live, Libby Mondays.
Happy
We have
Mondays.
a very specific topic that we're going to talk about today. Survivor is over, but we're not over.
We're not over.
I know. We're not over.
Mm-mm.
And Libby was curious if many people would be interested. I think tons of people would be interested in this topic. It's right there on the board, right there, Libby. The
Mm-hmm.
top 10 warning signs you're in a toxic relationship. Now, we could save your life if you listen to Living Monday sometimes. I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
we're just
Your
looking out for you.
relationship life. Your relationship life. Hopefully
Yeah,
it doesn't get.
honestly, any relationship, friends, family, anything, your actual relationship.
That's, yeah.
So I think that this doesn't just involve a boyfriend. It doesn't have to involve a girlfriend, a boyfriend, none of that. I think this can pertain to any relationship.
It can for sure. Well, we don't want to break out a marriage or anything like that. You need to try to work through that. If and it could be that some of these warning signs, or maybe in your married relationship, those things you need to try to work out because you've already said I do. When you say I do, you have to try to work things out. And I'm
Get
all
it.
for that, though, Libby. In marriages,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for trying to work things out when you go that deep and you say I do. What do you think about that?
Yeah, of course. Like, to be honest, um my parents split
Hmm.
up about 3 years ago. So I was an adult when this happened. My brother and my sister were all adults, and it is hard to um, be like, because my parents kind of tried to work things out, but they didn't really go to counseling. They didn't do a lot of make the biggest effort, and I think that that is a huge regret that they have, is that they didn't really try. And I feel like you can't just ever really give up. So,
Right. You can't.
mm-mm.
And if you're sitting there with your partner, if you're dating, that's basically what we're trying to talk about. We're talking about young relationships, the signs you need to run, basically. And if you're with your young relationship watching this or listening to this on the podcast, you may want to wait because if you think that something that they do is on this list, you're just going to have some awkward silence between you two.
Yeah.
So you don't want that.
Yes.
So what I wanted
So
to do with the list,
should
Libby, is I wanted
yeah.
to kind of ask you to get a pen and paper. You have a pen and paper with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
The reason
always
I
do. I
want to do
have
that is because we're going to break down the list, but we're going to uh, put what's worse and what's number one being the worst, and then number 10 not being so bad. Even though in the top, if you're on this list, it's bad. Like, because as I'm reading, as I'm putting the list together, and it's funny because I've asked all generations, even a 15-year-old girl, Denise's daughter that helps run the Patreon group. I want to make it sound weird. I
mm-hmm.
I said, ask your daughter what she thinks, and she was really. It's really funny to me how even the young, they know the signs. Like, you know the signs. We don't have to sit here and break it down for you, but you know what they are. And sometimes you just don't have the wisdom to walk away. Like, how many
Right.
times do you know relationships? And I know a few. My daughters were in a few. They're probably watching this right now. That they know the signs. They even tell me, yes, I know, but don't have the wisdom to leave.
Right. Well, okay. Before we start with the signs, I feel like we should give a little introduction to ourselves if we have newer viewers or anything like that. First of all, so
Okay.
I'm Libby. I am. If, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Libby. I played Survivor season 36, Survivor Ghost Island. So I played 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee. No, I'm not in a relationship right now, but I have been in quite a few different relationships, different levels. So I am going to give my advice being a girl in her 20s going through that. And Russell, you have been in, you've been married before.
Right.
You're showing your experience,
Right.
and you're giving them more of like your view on what's toxic and
Right.
what's not, because I don't want people to think like this is the legit list. Like this is
we're not professionals.
No, we're not professionals.
Right. It's my opinion. The list is pretty solid though.
Yeah, I
so
believe you.
You're going to have to agree. I believe that you're going to agree. Somebody says Libby's not in a relationship. What? But you're going to have to agree with some of these on the list because they're just obvious. I didn't put anything that wasn't too obvious. And yes, we have different types of relationship we've been in that we think we need to leave.
Right.
But the problem with leaving in a relationship is you start liking them. Mm-hmm. You maybe like the way they look. You may like whatever you may like about this person. And you don't want to leave. And some of you may have children in that same toxic type relationship that you want them to leave. Like, just get out of there. If they have that problem, just get them to listen to this. We're not Dr. Phil. Just like Libby said, we're just basing this on what we've been through in life. And I've been through a little more. I've been married. Libby hasn't. And I had girlfriends before and after. So that's what we're basing this on. And I think you guys are going to find it pretty interesting. And I'm going to go with, I'm going to talk about this because this isn't the number one on the list, but it's just a little thing that always bothered me. And we've talked about it already a little bit. For you that haven't heard about it, it's the phone thing. I think, and it's a sign. This is more of a real sign type thing. Nothing like being aggressive or something like that. It's like someone has a phone. You're always hearing text. You always see them reading it. But when they're next to you, they're kind of at a little angle with their body. Or if they're having dinner, they have it flip side up. I ain't going to say any names, but I know some people they call it their bat phone. And they have two phones. And they use one phone for their cheating relationship. Yes.
That's
married
terrible.
People. And then the other phone for, yes, stuff happens. This stuff happens. And it happens on a regular basis more than you would think.
That's so sad.
So if you ever find a second phone, ever, if you're married, if you're whatever, and you find a second phone, that's what it's for.
What if it's their work phone?
Then why wouldn't they have, if they had a hidden second phone, you're out.
Yeah. Okay.
You should.
So with the phone thing.
Yes.
This is a great time to bring up my past relationship.
Oh, okay.
So
I was waiting for this.
Yeah. So my past relationship ended about a month ago. So we were doing, I had a boyfriend, but he is a wonderful guy. Okay. But he was always very insecure because I was on Instagram. He even brought up doing this podcast, things like that.
It's on the list, Libby.
Okay. But so he was very insecure about me being on my phone, though I was very transparent. It's one thing, I only have one phone, but one thing, if you have somewhat of a following, you have friends who are influencers or, like being a younger person, it's very hard to know if you're trustworthy or not because you're on different platforms of social media. If it's work, if that's something that you have to do to be able to go through life or whatever, it's part of your livelihood, you have to date somebody who understands that. And as my phone's going off. So I think he had somewhat of like issues with me, even though I wouldn't have my phone when we're out or even when we were together or anything like that. I really wouldn't be on it, but I'd always tell him what I'm doing on my phone. But it wouldn't be me hiding. But
did you think that you had to though? Did you think you have to, I got to do this? Like, isn't that already, okay, that's a sign.
That's a sign.
If you being insecure, that falls in a bunch of different categories. Actually, I asked my mom and she said that exact thing, which you went through right there. Being insecure, and when you actually have to tell someone, I have a feeling that you're a trustworthy person. I don't know you like that. We know each other through the podcast, and that's it. But just by talking to you like this, I have a feeling that you're the trustworthy type of girlfriend.
Well,
to where you can trust.
Yes. And what set us off was a guy had called me, a guy that I used to talk to. And he was like, I don't know how I feel like I'm always chasing you. Like but I told him exactly, I was like, yeah, that's the guy I used to talk to. And I literally answered, I was like, I'm with my boyfriend. Please don't call. Like, I don't know. I hadn't talked to him in 6 months, but that still made him very mad. And
do you think he's watching, Libby? Do you think he's watching this right now?
Either way, if he is or if he isn't, I think it is something that, some people would be like, I appreciate you telling me the truth. Other people are like, it's never going to end. I can't deal with that. And I don't know. I think that's a hard topic because he didn't have his exes calling him, but you know what? It's not my fault. My exes still just run back, just like
they just
can't get away.
But you did what you were supposed to do, though.
Yeah. I always try to tell the truth, and I always told him exactly how I felt or exactly what happened. And that's somewhat of, it's a challenge that a lot of people my age face now because of just different.
Yeah. And you just said a lot of different things that we're going to talk about all in one thing with one guy, by the way. Love the cup, though, Libby.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
And I can imagine him being threatened by this handsome man here. I can get it. I get it, Libby.
He was like, how would you feel if I did a podcast with a girl every week?
With a very good looking person. How would you feel? Yeah, I see his problem.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to go and say that this is number one right off the bat. Now, we're going to break it down and but I think that we're going to agree on this. Number one has to be someone that's already cheated on you. Like they already did it. They cheaters. You know it. You know they cheated. It has to be number one. It's one of the, if they cheat on you guys, they're going to cheat on you again. That's how that works. There's only one thing that can stop that, and that's us getting into more of a religious topic, which I don't want to do. But there's only one thing that's going to stop that, and that's they're still going to church and things like that. Other than that, it's not going to stop. It's just not. So,
writing it down.
To me, I think it's number one.
Okay.
And it's super easy to break down number one like that. Mm-hmm. All right. Now we're just going to talk about random things and see what we think and what order we think they need to be. All right. When my children were younger, they used to say, nowadays all boys get my passwords, and all the girls give their passwords out to their boys to all their social media sites. That's a little childish, and especially if that happens now and you're an adult, then that's a very insecure move. Mm-hmm. Someone getting your password, somebody wanting to know what you're doing. When it comes to social media these days, when I was younger, before I played Survivor, they didn't have that much social media. Mm. So nowadays you have things like if I'm dating somebody, I'll look through their social media. I will. And I don't know too many people that won't. But when I see guys down there, pictures of other guys, I don't say anything about it. They may talk about it and say that's so-and-so and that's like years later. Mm-hmm. Like, why would I want them to delete guys' pictures from 2 years ago on their social media when that was then and this is now? Right. Like, that is insecurity. That's showing.
Right. Everyone has a past, and everyone has people in their lives. Nowadays, it's hard to get people out of their lives. And I think that was another thing that kind of was brought up in my past relationship. It was like, you're liking all these pictures of guys that are like professional pictures or in like boxers or half naked guys. But Michael Yerger and I are still great friends. Like, I'm not going to unfollow him because I have a boyfriend. And Michael Yerger is posting up all the sexiest pictures. Right. So like, I'm going to like it because I show appreciation to it. It's not like or like if I have, I don't normally keep my relationship pictures on my Instagram because it's more or less I want you to know parts of my life, but if that part of my life is over, I personally don't like to go back to it because
No, if you delete it, it's fine. If you
right,
delete
but
it,
I'm never
if
going
it's
to
your
tell.
decision.
Right. I think it's I think it I'm not going to tell him to take it down, but I also think, like, why would you want to keep it up? You know, like, what's the reason? If he has very legitimate reason, like, she's still my friend. Okay, that's great. If he had an issue with me having my ex-boyfriends up on my Instagram, it's not a big enough deal. Hopefully, he means more to you than your past relationships. So if
Right.
that's a conflict of interest, and it really makes him just say, like, you know, I love your social media, you're doing a great job. I personally would love to not see him on your social media. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's not like, that's not a like make or break thing for me. Like, because then I'm saying, well, what? Like, you're insecure? Like, I want that picture of my ex-boyfriend up there on my Instagram. Like, then
Right.
it's kind of just, you know, I personally think if they have an issue with it, then just take it down. Why?
Well, my last girlfriend, the last one I had, she had all her ex-boyfriends. You couldn't go through her Instagram and you would have every different boyfriend that she had as you go down through the list. And then when she started dating someone very insecure, and I didn't even know the person, I didn't know nothing, all the pictures were gone just like that. And she used to tell me, it's my past, you know, and I don't want to erase it out of my past. I was like, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as she started dating someone else, then all of a sudden all the pictures disappeared. So immediately I knew, okay, well, she's dating someone that was like, okay, you're taking this off, you're taking this off, you're doing this, you're doing this. That's really aggressive.
Yeah.
You know,
so
Instagram has been the death of so many relationships these days.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I have to give my dog
just
a treat.
On and off. People liking your post. You having podcasts with very handsome guys. You know, that's dangerous.
Dangerous.
So anyway, here's one probably pretty close to the top. And that's being super aggressive. And I'm talking about an aggressive way of pushing or snatching something from you. You know what I mean? Like
also
being
having to
really
see you
mean
every day. Or okay. Yeah. Okay.
So have you ever had that happen
stay
though?
On your topic. I think mine is a different topic. So being
okay,
really mean.
I'm talking about physically mean.
Yeah. I've been in a relationship
I'm talking
like
about
that before.
Pushing you down on. That's crazy. At some point, did you think this is going to get better? Is that what you think? Because that's what you hear a lot. You hear people saying, "Oh, this is just going to get better."
Well, yes, I think a lot of girls can. Relate to this. I can fix him. I can make him better, and
right.
I think that's a lot of things that women tend to love to be fixers. We love to have a problem and say, "Oh, I'm better," and like he's with me because I make him better. So he's not that great right now, but that's okay. And like that's who I was with, a guy who drank a lot and was very aggressive. His dad was very sick, so he was kind of taking it out. And any issue, especially when he would drink, he would be very forceful and yell, and like anything that would set him off, he would just be very angry. And I thought that I was the one who could say, I could fix him. Like, I'm going to make him nice because I'm nice, and I'll just be nicer to him, be an example. But that never works.
Yeah.
You can't change a guy.
Never works. So write that down. Write down cheating, and then write down physically aggressive. Now they also have a mentally aggressive, and the way I say the mentally aggressive is stuff like downgrading you, telling you that you need to fix certain things about your body, telling you that you're too fat, or that. I mean, you think that doesn't happen? Yeah, saying just little flaws in your body, talking about, constantly bringing up something that bothers you all the time to mentally get at you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What would you think would be worse? Physically abusing you or mentally abusing you?
Mentally.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
100%. I can
Wow.
hit, push me. Try me. If you want to hurt me, hurt me. I will
You're
get
gonna fight
better.
back. Yeah.
I'll go to the hospital. Bruise me, my body will heal. But mentally, that, no. Because, I've struggled with an eating disorder. My family, my brother has gone through depression. My mom has anxiety. I think mental abuse is so much harder to overcome than anything else. Physical abuse, go to the doctor, get a cat, and then go to jail. But mentally, you're the one who is going to really struggle throughout every other relationship. You carry it through. I think that that's something that, getting your heart broken hurts so bad, and it takes a lot to get over. But I think that mentally it's just so much worse than physically. What do you think?
I think that, it's hard. It's hard for me to say it's worse. I understand your point and I agree, but that's where I'm a guy, you're a girl. So for me, if a girl tries to beat up on me, it's like guys have to deal with that too, by the way. A girl slapping him and he's trying to walk away and she picks up something, hits him over the head. You can really hurt someone. And there comes a point in time where you have to walk away too, guys. It just goes both ways.
Right.
But I don't think that someone can really get to me mentally.
Well, I think that it's a lot easier to get to a girl mentally. I think, anybody can be mentally abused. I'm not going to say only girls get mentally abused and pull the Me Too thing. But I think that women can definitely abuse men, just like men can have eating disorders and men can go through all of that as well. And so, and also, women can make men feel very insecure. So if you tend to never really feed that relationship and you're very mentally abusive, or you're telling your guy, you're not strong enough, or be a man, you're not making enough money or whatever, that can tear a guy down and really screw with him for every other relationship that they're in. So I just think that physical abuse is terrible and you could go to jail for that. But mentally abuse, that's why it's almost even worse, because people tend to not feel that they're punished for it.
Right. Okay. What do you think about it's never their fault? Go ahead and write down mentally aggressive and
I have one,
mentally and physically. So someone that's always it's not my fault. It's always your fault. It's never their fault. Would you call that a sign of something toxic, to when something goes wrong, no matter what it is, it's never their fault, it's always yours?
Charlie, that's my protective man. Charlie, stop! Somebody was knocking on my door, apparently.
Oh, okay. Somebody's knocking at your door.
I don't know why. I was not expecting any visitors. So we're just gonna. Sorry if Charlie's scared.
Scary.
He's a tiny dog, so Charlie, hey, come here, buddy.
She does not want anybody messing with.
Sorry about that.
So what do you think about that one? Have you ever been in a relationship where it's always someone else's fault?
I have not. I've been in a relationship with a celebrity who would never feel like it's like he ever did anything wrong. I wouldn't say that he would blame things on me. He just didn't think that things that he did were wrong. So I think that's a little different, but that's the only way I would have expected that.
Okay. Yeah, that one I don't know for sure. I'll just put it on the list.
I
What do you
think that
think
it's
about?
different.
Go ahead.
I just think it's different. Like if someone's saying it's not my fault, it's not my fault. There's more to that story because there's something that's happening that's more toxic than them not saying it's their fault. You know what I mean?
Right. So, what do you think about little white lies? Like when somebody's just little white lies, just lies here and there, and you're like, they're just starting to pile up.
I think that's just that they're probably more like a pathological liar because if they're lying, and they're just believing themselves that whatever they think is true.
Somebody said white lies are good.
White lies are good? I don't think so. I think that any kind of lie is probably not good. And I'm only writing this stuff down so that we can talk more about it later because I have not. Russell hasn't shared his list with me, so I'm just writing this down so that.
Right.
And he's writing notes that I say down, so that's why. I like to read the comments.
So what about when it comes down to? And I'm curious with this one. The one that I said they're always saying that you look something on you is wrong. You're overweight. You're this. You're that. You need to fix this. You need to go to the gym. Just constantly telling you these type of things. But where is that line to where a guy can actually you going out always look nice. You're going out and then he's like, what is that she's wearing? And then she's like, how does this look on me? And you're like, terrible. Go change. Okay. It looks terrible. Is that okay?
No, but this is how you approach that.
Okay, tell me. Teach me, Libby.
You have to be, if you are a husband, a boyfriend, in any kind of relationship, you have to be best friends and you have to be friends. A husband is, and his wife comes out.
But you would tell your friend that. You would tell your friend that doesn't look good.
Absolutely, but you don't say, that looks terrible. Unless
so you just have to word it different.
You have to definitely word it different. You have to you have to be like, honey, you know,
no, that's bad, Libby.
No. But if you're best friends, you'd be like, oh yeah, babe, you know, I would say yes, but if you want me to love you and tell you the truth, I'm gonna say you look so much better in this.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know which one. I think I'd rather you tell me.
That's a girl.
I think I'd rather,
like,
Libby.
I don't want to hear my boyfriend say, babe,
I'm going to tell you what I like. I'd rather you tell me, what is that? Go change. And then I'm turning around, I'm going to change.
A boyfriend that. But if a guy tells a girl that, she's never going to forget that. She's like, look at this dress.
Why is it different though?
You never tell a girl she looks fat. You say that looks nice and that dress you can wear.
I'm just talking about that shirt with all the flowers on it, with all the roses on it, a bunch of roses all over your little sundress.
You can put sunflowers all over a dress and it could look terrible, but you know what? You can say, honey, maybe another season. Or maybe wear that whenever we're just. And then she'll get the hint. If y'all are best friends, she's going to see that and say, okay, honey.
My best friend.
All right. Okay,
my best friend walks out with flowers on his jeans. I'm going to say, dude, I ain't going with you like that.
Yeah,
I ain't going nowhere with you like that.
I will tell my girlfriend, be like, girl, change.
Yeah.
Let's go change.
So you see?
But it's totally different when the person that you love is telling you that you look awful. Oh, my heart would be broken. Can you imagine? Like, I put on something ugly
you look beautiful.
And you say, yeah, but if
Why'd
I
you
put on
ask the
something
question?
ugly,
why did you ask the question? Why did you ask me how? See, we're fighting. Why did you ask me how you look when I told you how you look? Now I'm in trouble.
Yeah, because you need to learn how to instantly say, "Oh, honey, you know that dress is not my favorite."
That don't work. That look that you're giving me, that look that you're giving me right now, the podcasters are listening, it's that look that you get from your girl that's like almost a conceited, sarcastic type. Honey, well, No, I'd rather you tell me it looks like shit. Go change.
But see, it's gonna strike up conversation. The look, and then she'll be like, "Wait, you're just gonna look and be like, but baby, I love you, like, or you just look so great, and a lot of other stuff. That's just not my favorite." And she'll be like, "I can't believe you said that."
I don't know, which I think that I'm right in this one. I think that you can't. I think that if they look,
Libby's right. It's all in the delivery.
Libby,
yes, all in the delivery.
Well, that's a woman saying that too, by the way. So
I'm a woman.
Right. No, what I'm saying is that every other time we go out, I mean, every time we've ever went out, I'm like, you look stunning, breathtaking, beautiful. I mean, I'm always complimenting you. But then this one time, I'm telling you the truth, baby, that looks terrible. I'm in trouble because I just said the truth. I'm not saying always saying it. I'm talking about I'm always sweet as can be. But don't you want a man? Don't you want a man that can be strong 100%. Enough to be like, if a baby, that doesn't look. How about this, baby? That doesn't look good. Is that better? I mean, you see, you got to write a book on how to say it.
If that is almost mentally aggressive, you say, "Oh, that looks terrible."
Yeah, maybe that's terrible. Maybe yes.
Of nightmares about my next boyfriend telling me that I look terrible in these bell-bottom jeans. That I'm like, how do you like this? Because really, she's really probably asking you, honey, tell me I look beautiful. And then you're like, oh, to be honest, you look horrible. And then she's like, up here, and then boom, literally just hit the ground. So that's probably what's going to happen.
So you're saying that when a woman asks how she looks, she really don't want to know exactly the truth. And if it's bad, she wants to be.
If she feels like she looks bad, she'll most likely text her girlfriend ask in her picture before she asks you. Because
be honest
then she'll
here.
Really be insecure.
Be honest with me when I ask you this question. Has anyone ever, when you walked out of the room, with anything you have ever had on, have they ever said, no, you don't look good? What? Now I'm talking about a
always
boyfriend.
A girlfriend. No.
I'm talking about a boyfriend.
No.
So do
I've
you
always
think
double checked with like 5 of my girlfriends?
So do you think that you look just amazing every single time you went out with a guy or went out somewhere? Do you really think that? Probably not.
No, but
so what they're doing is they're telling little white lies.
There's a difference because guys will think that. I know this is we're getting a little carried away with this.
Guys wonder about this, Libby.
You want me to tell you the for real truth?
Tell me the for real truth.
Because here it is. Girls get ready for other girls. They don't get ready for their boys because they know that guys are like, okay, she looks great. Awesome. They don't know how much what foundation you use. They don't know the brand of your jeans. They don't know this. Girls get ready for other girls. And it's true in a lot of ways.
That's all I got to say. That looks terrible. Can you take that off real quick for me?
Oh, God. I used to work at Victoria's Secret. And
oh, my goodness.
These guys, like couples would come in and she's like, babe, how does this look? And I've watched it. Guys would just throw it on the ground and be like, looks good there. Because that's where it's going to end up. They don't care. Like, that's just the thing. It's just sad to say, but it's true.
It's really, I have daughters, going in Victoria's Secret, especially with the first time I went in Victoria's Secret with my 12-year-old, that was a little weird, but I got to act like it's okay. Like, what you want, honey?
I feel so uncomfortable. Be like, sir, would you like to wait outside? Weird. I'll help your daughter. Goodbye. I'm a
dad's dad, though, Libby. I go and I take them where they want to go, and I hand them the credit card.
That's nice.
So okay. Have you ever had? Here you go. Here's a why. Somebody just tipped $50 just to be up for me to put on the screen Natalie White's name and Sandra Diaz Twan, the two people that beat me in Survivor. That's pretty smart. Good, good one. That's a good one. I ain't gonna lie.
We'll take it. I'll take it.
So, have you ever had a guy friend? Well, you just said that. You just said this is kind of like that. I have a number 7 on my list, but a guy friend that says doesn't say it, but they imply that they don't want you to have any guy friends. You have no guy friends. Like I don't want you talking to other guys. I don't want you to have any other guy friends. I want to be the only one in your life.
Yeah.
Would you think that that's a major problem?
Huge red flag. Because
huge red flag.
And I mean, I think I'm not going to talk about my last relationship anymore, but I feel like these days, I mean, no matter what, true love is trust. If you say that your best friend is a girl, I want to get to know her and I want to be friends with her and I want to know why we're best friends because she must be great because I love you. Same thing goes to her girl. But you have to also trust the best friend or the friend. And I think that's really hard. If your girlfriend has a lot of guy friends, but they're all over her and she entertains it, then that's where you're like,
yes.
Like, okay. But if she's like,
oh, that's the major problem.
And they're totally just her friends and they want to be your friend, then that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, that's a major problem for me. If I go out, and this happened to me on a date once, I might have told you, you're drinking the cup the wrong way, by the way. You was just drinking your mug the wrong way.
Sometimes I like holding it right here.
You're drinking it like this.
I like the warmth of a mug.
Okay, so I went on a date, and this is my pet peeve. I'm out there. I don't mind if my girlfriend has other boyfriends she talks to and they're close with. I don't mind that. But if I go on a date with you, and then this happened to me once, and she left the date, and she went to the 4 guys at a table, and she sat there for 30 minutes, maybe longer, because I don't know if it was longer, because I left too. And I left her ass stranded at the restaurant.
Bye. She was wondering if she did anything wrong, but I think that's probably why she's still single.
And then I can't take that. I cannot. When you're with someone and you see if I'm with you and I see a beautiful girl walk by us, there's no way that I'm going to be watching her walk all the way down the aisle.
No.
And the same goes with the girl. You know, have you never seen a pretty person before? It's ridiculous sometimes to me. I recently went out on a date and I found this girl off of a dating site. It was Catfish or something. Should have called it Catfish. It was something fish.
Okay.
What am I thinking of? Fish something.
A dating app?
Yes.
Fish
Plenty
something?
of fish. Plenty of fish.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Gotta add. So anyway, plenty of fish. That's it. Somebody, there. I said it right there. So I went out. I looked at the pictures, right? And then I go to her Instagram because I want to talk. Her voice is exactly what I like. The Southern voice. I like that twang. It's what Natalie White. I don't mind that really Southern Tennessee twang. I don't mind that at all. Alabama. I don't mind it. I like it. Yeah. So she had that Southern voice, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, okay, she has a good voice. I like that. So I go on her Instagram, and all the pictures were weird. It was never, all of them filtered. Everybody's catfishing nowadays. That's all there is, a bunch of catfish. So everything's filtered, and I never seen her full body. Never. Not in any picture. So then not really that many pictures. And it's hard for me to get catfished, okay? It's I am on top of it. When people friend me, I probably lose a lot of good relationships, possible relationships, because pretty girls talk to me all the time, and I just block them. Because I'm like, I just immediately think, okay, this girl, I go on their Facebook, I see one picture and I block them. I'm like, this ain't real.
Yeah.
If I seen your picture on Plenty of Fish, I'd block you. Because I would be like, this girl's catfishing me. I ain't playing with it. I got too much going on to deal with these type of people. So I go on a date. I go on a date with this girl. I say, yes, okay, let's go. I go pick her up. When I picked her, now her pictures were like from 15 years ago. So she wasn't what she said she was. Mm-hmm. Hey, there is somebody for everybody to love. I ain't saying that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's somebody for everybody. But this girl wasn't for me. So immediately I'm pissed. And I show it. So I'm like, should I just turn around? Like, I'm thinking this in my mind. And I talk a lot. When I'm in a relationship or when I'm on a date, I make sure the date's interesting. We're always talking. Whether we connect or not, we'll be friends after that date. Because I'm just that kind of guy. We have a great time. At first, before you even met me, you probably thought I was a butthole that's just mean. I did not
think that, but I had to do my research.
Right, but you were nervous about coming on with me because you thought I was an aggressive guy, which makes sense. So I go out, I take her out, I take her to Possessiveness, wonderful restaurant, my favorite.
I love Possessiveness. Oh, so good.
You guys probably ain't even heard of it, Possessiveness in Texas, the best restaurant I have ever eaten all around the world. It's my favorite restaurant ever.
The Papa's restaurants are great. I love Papa Do's.
Right.
Papa Do's is great.
So I take her to Possessiveness, and I'm mad. And I ain't saying anything. It's like awkward silence. And then she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, do you expect this to go well? Did you think? Now I'm mad. So I'm like, did you think that I wasn't going to say, hey, you sent me whatever they do with the pictures. You lied to me right off the bat. So how did you think? You knew I was going to pick you up, right? Like, I'm picking you up. So you knew I was going to see you, right? So now I'm taking you out, and then you're not who you say you are in that picture. What was that, 15 years ago, if that's you? And I'm straight up with her. So I'm like, I don't know how you think this dinner is going to work out when I'm just mad now. Because you've lied to me. You lied to me. Straight, I was pissed. Now, they had this recent thing, and I wanted to send you the clip. It is the most entertaining thing I've seen on TV in a long time. And a lot of people know what it is when I say it. It is the Big Ed guy on 90 Day Fiancé. You have to watch it, Libby.
Okay. I'll watch it.
Super entertaining. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to literally, your mouth is going to be left open a lot in this, like, what is going on? I don't like to call people names, but they call him No Neck Ed. I don't like to use that. I'm just saying that because that's what they use. Even though they call him that, I don't like to call people names like that. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get him on the show. But he is 4'11", and he told her he was 5'2", because she's 5'2". She's from I don't know. She's from some other country. So they're like, he said, I'm 5'2". So we see eye to eye, which is short for a guy, but it's okay. They're the same height in her mind. Well, when they meet at the airport, he's 4'11". So when she sees him at the airport,
she's probably not used to people being shorter than her.
Right. Not even that. Yeah, from the Philippines. Not even that. He straight up lied to her right off the bat. Like, you're going to meet, guys. If you're a catfish that's listening to this right now, I guess you can either be a professional catfish and never meet the person, but if you actually want to meet the person, they're going to see you sooner or later. Why don't you just get it out there? When I talk to somebody, immediately I say I'm 5'6". Immediately. Yeah. It's one of the first things I say.
Yeah.
You know why? Because a lot of girls they like taller men. So I'm like, look, I'm 5'6". Period. If you can work with that, if we can work in a relationship, with me being the same height as you most of the time, then that's okay. But I'm not going to say I'm 5'10", and then all of a sudden we meet and you're like, you're not even thinking about the relationship anymore. You're not even thinking about, do I really like this guy? All you're thinking is, he lied to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happened to me,
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, there's going to be a lot of women that are doing that now. The amount of apps and the amount of Instagram filters and things, a lot of women, especially older women, are going to lie about what they look like or just want to make themselves look good. A lot of women don't see how different they look after they edit their pictures. I don't really have like Facetune or any of that, but I love Instagram filters and sometimes they like make me look tanner or whatever. I recently went on a social distance date from we went to an outdoor bar, and it was a date from a dating app that I'm on. So, and he looked a little different, but I'm not gonna be like, you lied to me. I know that she looked a lot different, but also you have to remember, you don't want to like emotionally abuse her for posting her highlight.
Well, I was just upset. I was upset.
Yeah, well,
it almost all of it came down on her. You know, all the people try to catfish me all the time. It's ridiculous.
Right. And I think that you have to go into it being like, wow, you know, honestly, you look a lot different than your profile. And if she was not beautiful, like I think you have to get to know someone a little bit more before you automatically think, wow, you do not look at all like your profile. How dare you lie to me? And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to post really pretty pictures of me so I could go on a date.
You make me sound bad, though.
You just said I laid it out there.
I know,
like,
I did,
boom,
but
boom,
it sounds worse when you say it.
Well, sometimes the truth hurts, honey. You just gotta but you have to remember that a lot of women now, especially when they're trying to be vulnerable and going on dating apps, that they're going to be posting pictures that are going to be looking a lot better than what they're going to look like in person. And my mom is super nervous to go, yeah, it is scary. But also,
isn't it scary for the girl?
It is, but that's why everybody's always nervous, because they're like, what if he thinks that I was so much prettier? Like, I mean, all I worried about yesterday was like, I posted really good pictures on that app. Like, maybe I should have just posted like.
No, yeah, you can't do that. Your pictures are. There's no. First of all, you can post whatever picture you want. They're gonna think you're pretty when they see you. That's not a concern. But what I'm saying is, but you are right. You may post some I've seen some pictures of you that it's like, holy shit. Like, you may not want to post those pictures.
I'm not going to post those. No.
Because all of a sudden he'd come out like, oh, I'm dating Miss America. I can see how that may backfire a little bit.
Right. And then, like, what I tend to do on a date is, like, you keep on my first dates, I don't, like, go all out on my makeup, outfit. I keep a low standard so that, you know, like, second, third, fourth, like, fifth, it's like, damn, she's good. But like, you got to work towards it. And sometimes you have to remember. And also, I like to be like, okay, does he like me for my personality? Am I a fun person? Does he still think I'm without too much makeup on? Like, you don't want to like, I think that you should be truthful at your profile, but I also don't think that you should post the worst pictures because you want to catch them. You know, you want to catch them. And then be like, okay, now I'll prove to you that maybe I don't look like a model all the time, but I'm going to charm you with my personality. But you got to give them a chance to do that.
Right. Okay. No,
I don't know. We kind of went on a rant. I don't even know what number.
Well, personalities are important. I've went on a little vacation with it was me and we were all friends. Okay. It was me and Boo. And my best friend, he played on Survivor Fiji. And it was these two beautiful girls. And this one girl that was, I guess you would say average. After the trip was over, that's the one that Boo and I both liked the best. Like, it was crazy. It was like, her personality was so charming. She was such a good person that after it was over, it was like, isn't this interesting how we both want her now? Like, because it was like the two pretty girls just were like, no, I much rather this one. So your personality, it could change a whole lot.
A lot. Mm-hmm.
So if you're beautiful with a great personality, that's just a bonus. So
yeah. Did you ever give the girl a chance? Did you ever give the girl from Possessiveness a chance?
Really? No. I dropped her off and that was it. Never talked to her again.
Oh.
Is that sad?
Kind of.
No, because it wasn't really her personality. She didn't. You're right. Her personality could have been great, but none of that came out. Like what happened was immediately we started fighting because, and then after that we didn't know what was good and what was bad because she lied to me from the get-go. So it started the fire, and from then on it was in flames.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, my mom.
And I was calm with her. I wasn't like, hey, you guys. I wasn't raising my voice. I was like, look, you lied to me, and I don't appreciate it.
And then was her reaction just something that you also weren't?
Well, that is me, but it was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I didn't lie to you. That is a picture of me. So then it gets to where, no, it's not you. Yes, it's you, but.
I think that the way to react to something like that is when if someone's saying, that doesn't look like you, like that's not your profile picture, I'm like, oh, you're right. You know, honestly, that is me 15 years ago, but I wanted to post something that I was really confident about. Then how would you have reacted?
It would have been that different, but I think the best thing for her to do at that point was just to tell me, look, right off the bat, before we seen each other, I would have went out with her. We'd probably still be friends today if she had a great personality.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you just don't connect. Now, this is a good question right here. That somebody just go ahead. Can you read the question, Libby, for the
Russell?
Audience?
How not attractive can a girl be that you'd be interested if they had a great personality? Honest guy question. So be honest. How basically unattractive?
I mean, do I have to go with a scale? The scale? I mean, I probably would say the scale is different for every guy, 1 through 10. A lot of people don't even like to be known as this girl's a 10, this girl's an 8, this girl's a 6. But just like I said about that girl that wasn't as attractive as the other girls, after that vacation, she was more attracted to me than the other girls. Mm-hmm. Like I started getting really super into her. Mm-hmm. And to me, she was beautiful. So someone's personality can do a tremendous amount for that person.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Oh, 100%. I think that guys that are like really funny and know how to keep up a conversation, very personable, I think that it's important that's so important. Like it charms you and it makes you see like, I want to keep talking to him. I want to like I've talked to guys that are like beautiful but with zero personality, or they're full of themselves, or they're like not fun to talk to, and like automatically make them unattractive. I'm like,
and I think
like you can have a 6-pack and all, but like goodbye, not attracted to that.
And I think that you have more of an average girl type look that has greater personalities because they had to work harder all their life than the pretty girl with no personality.
Saying I'm just an average? Am I just a spy? Just kidding. It's okay.
You see what I'm saying though? That I've been on dates with pretty girls and dull personality, and then it brings everything down. It's like, okay. I mean, yes, I'm not gonna lie. People will be like, okay, she's beautiful. I want to sleep with her, and guess what? That's as far as it's gonna go. So that's where that happens. That's what happens there.
I think Melissa brought up a very good point. And this, like, you know, it's hard, especially now, like in quarantine, when you're single trying to date somebody, you go by how they look at first, because that's like, I am on a site where like you see some of their personality and like their answers and stuff and different questions.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I love reading the like how people can answer questions. So then like that makes me laugh and makes me smile. So then I'm more likely to say yes or no, even if like, I mean, I have to be physically somewhat attracted to them, because
Yes.
I just know
So
that
how
like,
many? I'm just curious. How many messages you get a day on them things, Libby? Like how many messages are you reading a book? Do you read books when you start reading these people's comments?
I should
Like
have alcohol
go
on
to
this
your
drink,
phone
but I
right
don't.
now, Libby. Go to your phone right now, and I want to know the
Okay.
number of messages you have on that one site. Like it's not read yet.
I check them pretty often.
Okay.
So
When's the last time you checked it?
currently I have, last time I checked it was at 5. Okay.
Okay.
No, at 4:30, because it was before I have 8.
8.
But I have 15 that
Do
I
you have
haven't.
any? Did you ever have like any really inappropriate stuff?
Oh.
Do they send you like?
No,
That's
not
on the
on
list.
those. I will look at the answers, and I like, they're not able to do that. You're not able to send pictures, and if you send something like vulgar, like words, then you could just say unmatch and go by. But I don't really match with anybody that's like that
Baby,
I
we
see
have
potential
to.
in saying that.
If you're gonna be on those type of sites, we're gonna get a sponsor from one of those sites, because if you're involved.
Yeah, I got offered to be a Bumble partner, but I haven't accepted. I don't know how to like. I don't know if I want to be like a Bumble partner, basically like put on Instagram like a big flag saying I am single. I am like blah blah blah. Like I don't really. Yeah, we broke up about a month ago, and now I'm just kind of recently started dating. But my mom is single, and so I'm kind of helping her on her dating app. So she's really nervous because she's married to my dad.
How old is your mom, Libby?
28 years.
How old is your mom? May I ask?
She's older than you.
Never know. You could be my daughter.
That's so scary to think that.
That would be so. You'd be calling me dad. In a not a bad way, not a nice way. Okay, so here's my stepdaughter. Yes. So God. Tell me, this is a sign that I think if you're in a relationship for a week and this person is already asking for nudes, I think that's a sign to get away. Because if someone respects you, you know, if they're going to respect you, I don't think they're going to ask. Now, I'm going to lie. I've sent pictures before to my wife and someone that I was dating for a long period of time. And when I have, you don't see it on the internet. You can't Google my privates on the internet. It's just some people you can, me you can't. Because
I think that the most you can see on me is my bathing suit.
Right. So I think that, yes, I can understand people doing that. If you're in a long-term relationship, you really trust the person, truly trust the person. But if they ask you within a week, I did a podcast a while back on the dick pic epidemic. Mm-hmm. It's like guys must think it's cute. So they just randomly send pictures like it's no big deal. And if they're like, hey, can you send me a picture? I think that's a flag. I think that's a red flag. Has that ever happened to you, Libby, where someone says, can you send me a nude after like a month or so?
No.
No?
No, because the thing is,
I don't believe.
You don't believe that?
I can't believe.
I'm not going to talk to somebody who I think is going to do.
I don't believe that nobody's ever asked.
If I've talked to them for a month, they know.
So you're telling me nobody your whole life?
I'm not going to.
Your whole life. I mean, high school.
Well, after a month, no. I think.
Yes.
after a month, no. I think that like any boyfriend that I've had knows me good and well and knows that like they're not getting that after a month. They've never asked that because I'm too great that they're like, "Ugh." No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, I think that like, no, I don't think I would know their personality. And if all of a sudden they're like that, I wouldn't know what to say. I think that like I can judge somebody,
You think
especially for the first month. I mean, like,
would that turn you off? Like immediately, would that be a sign?
yeah, yeah, because like I don't know, we're just it would be. I don't know, Russell. I think that this is like you're not like I'm good at. I'm a good judge of character, but like I think that also I'm very well at like saying the kind of person that I am, but it's also different. Like I feel like when you're in a relationship for a month, it's still like fresh, new. You're developing a friendship relationship as well, and like I think that that's just kind of weird. Like I don't know. I guess I'm just so I find that my relationships that develop into good relationships that are long lasting, we
Right.
have a fun relationship that's like it would we have better things to do than do something like
Right.
that.
Well, that's, yeah, you would hope. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it happens and it's on the list for someone. If someone does that, wouldn't you think that that is definitely a
Sign.
red
For
sign?
sure.
I mean, like you have to, this guy's already asking for pictures. You kidding me? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'd be like, whoa, like what are you gonna do in a year if I don't give that to you? Like, no, I think that that's goodbye. Asking
So
for nudes.
asking.
But like, I guess whenever like I think we brought it up once when I was in high school, this group of guys who I wouldn't date because I wasn't attracted to them at all. Like they're the type of guy they were. I wasn't attracted physically. I wasn't attracted to them, period. That because they were the popular guys, they were like, I went to a really small school. They were like, if she doesn't date us, like she must be like, not into boys or something. And
Yeah.
definitely not the case. But so they decided to make a MySpace of me and made me a lesbian, but used all my high school pictures. They used
Wow.
like my like cheerleading pictures and stuff.
Can you
And it
tell
was
me these guys'
very
names? I'm
oh
writing it
gosh,
down.
I'm not
Writing it down.
It was and I like did not know because I didn't even have a MySpace at that time. And when somebody was like, Libby, I saw your MySpace, like I had no idea. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I was very shy. Like I was into dance and I was a cheerleader, but I didn't have popular friends. I found out and it scarred me. And these women were sending me, technically, like these very bad pictures, like
Yeah.
terrible things that I've never really seen. And I was like, I guess I was 15 at the time, and they just thought I was just this like candy girl that was like they and I just was so worried that they would find me because I had such a huge following, and it was terrifying, like I think that was one of the things that I like kind of was scarred by. So I didn't have a relationship period for a very long time because
Wow.
yeah. So that was one of those things that like these guys
Are these
would get
one of the
together.
guys? Are these one of the guys that went to Disneyland and wanted you to give them special treatment because you were in a higher
No,
position?
those were
in
girls.
there?
Those
Oh,
were
okay.
girls. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, so I definitely developed a sympathy for like online bullying and also just like girls who have to experience stuff like that. But the guys would just get together after class or after football practice every day and talk to all these women, and it was very, very.
Because you wouldn't give them the time of day, they get
No.
all pissed off. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that's easier to get past than some things that happen.
Yes.
That's what you got to think about. Like
I'm much stronger, definitely over it,
Right.
but I've experienced it, so
right.
whatever.
So next on the list right here, jealousy. Now,
Ooh.
I'll be the first to say that I think that jealousy is healthy. Somewhat of jealousy. It's somewhat jealousy is healthy in a relationship. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think a little bit of jealousy is okay. Now, when it comes to extreme jealousy, it's different.
Mm-hmm. Extreme.
What do you
It's
think?
very different.
Do
I think
you think
jealousy,
it's okay? Somewhat
I think that
healthy.
sometimes it's kind of like, it depends on how it's approached and how it's brought up. But I think sometimes when a guy gets jealous, it's a little sexy because it's like,
Right.
you
And
saw that, okay? Like, I get
I
it.
ain't
Like,
gonna
don't
lie.
worry, babe. I love you. Like, okay, that's cool. Or like,
So
if he sees you, you're like, oh, like, he actually cares. Like, okay, at first I didn't think he noticed. If he was just like totally comfortable, I'd be like, does that not bother you at all?
yeah,
Like,
so
I
little
don't.
jealousy is okay. I think that's okay. I think it's healthy actually. I think a little jealousy, like you said, yes, it's healthy in a relationship. Now, when it was Ponderosa, we're getting back on a Survivor story. But when I was at Ponderosa, uh, I did a podcast with Brandon lately, and he's like, "What is the thing?" And it's interesting. I've never talked about this before. Since we're talking about relationships, I'll talk about it. And it's already been an hour, but we'll try to get over this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is something that you remember more than anything? And I had a connection out on Survivor with a girl named Krista that I played with. And the thing that I looked forward to the most out of playing 3 times was laying next to her and holding her hand at night underneath the palm front.
Aww.
That was, I can remember holding hands while we were in the middle of a conversation in muddy water, and we were holding hands where the camera couldn't see us, and we were a little pretty far apart where you couldn't tell we were holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like smitten for sure.
Aww.
Now, when we went to Ponderosa, I got voted out. She got voted out, and she was like, I was like, man, the psychiatrist talked to you, and afterwards, all that. I'm like, man, I know this is selfish, but I hope she gets voted out. I mean, I know it's, but you know, sitting over here with her that long, it would be crazy. So she did get voted out almost next. And they had a problem with one of the psychiatrists and all kinds of stuff. So Jeff came because they had a problem going on. And he interviewed everybody individually. And I remember sitting there, and I'm not a jealous guy. And I'm sitting there, and Stephanie and Krista started talking, and they were saying, Krista was like, I think that Jeff wants to go out on a date with me. He asked me out on a date. And I looked at them, and they just both started laughing at me because I was like a little jealous of Jeff Probst taking my girl, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't let Jeff take my woman because Jeff's the kind of guy that can take your woman from you. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he can. I think, I think that jealousy is not, it's a healthy thing. Just like, just a little bit of anything, just too much of it can also be very detrimental to a relationship. So
yeah,
it's all about, I think, how you handle the jealousy, how you approach jealousy. Like I think that if you're like, if you have a problem, like, look, I just have to be honest, it really bothers me when I see this. Like, okay, you know what? Thank you for telling me that, because I need to know what bothers you. And I'll make sure that it doesn't bother you anymore, or I'll approach this person and we'll fix it, because I care about you more than I care about.
That's another one. Yeah, that's
Huge
another
thing.
one on the list is communication. Now, when you're so jealous that you're like, I don't like when you talk to this person. I don't like when you do podcasts. I don't like when other guys call you, even though
It's
you
like,
tell them,
I need to own you and you can't have a life. Then that's where it's like, okay, possessive. Like, no, goodbye.
Yeah, just think what would happen if you actually married someone like that. This is the beginning of usually the best relationships are the beginning of the relationships. Now, if you all of a sudden, if you have this guy pushing you around or telling you to take this person off of your Instagram, you should be able to make those decisions on your own. If it bothered me, I'd say, Libby, it bothers me that you have Malcolm on your. No, it bothers me that you have Boston Rob on your page. I know you dated him, but it bothers me that that people look at that and we're two. Me and him are like 1 and 2, and I would appreciate it if maybe you just save them in your folder somewhere where you can have them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take them down the page. Now, is that being aggressive? Is that me being jealous? That I want you to take Boston Rob?
I think that's, it depends on the premise of why I would have Boston, or why your girlfriend.
No, you dated him.
Would have, okay. If
you dated him.
If your girlfriend dated Boston Rob and it's up there because it's like, like saying something. No, I did not date Boston Rob, by the way. I'm not dating.
Yeah, it's not start that.
Sorry, I want to make
sure. Did not
that
date
this
Boston
is
Rob.
No.
Yeah.
So say your girlfriend dated Boston Rob, and up on her like social media, on Facebook, on anything, it said like happy 2-year anniversary to this amazing man of mine, and like
that's impossible.
Then you should take it off. But if it's like if it's like celebrating a Survivor finale and saying like great to be with this crew again, and he's in that picture, then you're like being insecure about it because it's not fair for.
No, so I'm not talking about a group. That. Yeah, I'm not talking about something like that. I'm like, it's just a little uncomfortable because, and that's a different type of situation. Totally different, than which never would happen.
Right.
That would mean that I would have to date Amber and say, take all the pictures.
Yeah.
Which would never
That'd
happen.
Be weird.
They got, it's just weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about when someone tries to make you jealous? What about when they try to make you jealous by posting pretty pictures of other girls? Let's say you haven't talked. Let's say
and that's
Libby's
all, like,
terrible.
that's 100%.
Libby, you may be the worst person I know when it comes to texting. She answers the phone, guys. When I call, she answers. When I text, Libby does not text. So I can already see.
It's 3 minutes after he texts me. And
3 minutes.
Days. Yeah.
Days, Libby.
That was once. That was like early
Days.
on before. I've been very good
Libby.
lately. I've been very good lately. Okay. So listen.
No. What I'm saying is, what if? Oh, I'm getting the look.
You're not the only person texting me, Russell. Okay.
Oh, I can imagine.
I've been on my phone all day today. Literally all day. My eyes are crossed because I've been on my phone.
Has this guy that you just dated said, and you never reply to me when I text you?
That's happened before.
Okay. I can see that happen. No, but that's okay. No. It's okay because it's okay. I know a lot of people that don't text. I know a lot of people that don't. Denise from the podcast, she don't text either. And like, I need to know things sometimes, and it's okay though because not everybody lives on their phone. I do a lot of work from my phone, so I always have my phone. So that's it's fine, but that could be part of a major problem with not texting, with a guy being so jealous that you're not texting.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely an issue with a past relationship of mine, and I think that it's when there's reasons, like for me. A reason that like if I don't text you, I am up. I try not to touch my phone for 2 hours. I have to work out. I have to do all the social media for our show, for our studio.
Yeah.
Then I have to work out again. Like today, I worked out.
Let me play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You doing all this and you telling me this, and I'm saying, so you love that more than me? Like you care about these things more than you do me, Libby. You reply to people on Instagram before you even text me anything. Like, how come I don't get the love that these things get? Why can't you just tell me that you love me before you go work out?
Well, normally I would do something like that. And that is where it's either insecurity or I haven't done a good enough job to prove to you that like I don't like to text my boyfriend all day unless he lives in another state. And even then, like I'm thinking like hypothetically, you have to understand that that's work for me. If I'm having to text you, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Oh, cool. Great. I'll have this ready, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm not able to actually work or I'm not able to do the things that give me the 8 hours of like, okay, I cannot give you attention all day, every day. I will call you. I'll call you during lunch. I'll tell you I love you. I'll see you in the evening and tell you how my day was. But I want to know the same thing about you. If you have to text me all day, like, and it is something important, just be like, and I'll read it. But if I know it's like you just trying to converse with me, I'm like, I love you, but like I have time to do this, you know? So I think that's something that's like, I think that texting too much can ruin a relationship because then you're like setting the bar like, okay, I have to talk to you. What's up? What are you doing? Oh, how's that going? Oh, cool. Then you try to talk on the phone at the end of the day. What are you going to talk about? Like, I know exactly how your day was. I know exactly what things you cared about. Like, oh, and if you live with the person, then you're going to eat, watch TV, and then like, go to bed.
No, if you live with the person, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I think that you have to kind of be considerate of that person's life. And if they're trying to make a living on their phone, then like let them work, let them live. Like they will talk to you. If you trust them that much, they will talk to you. So I think that's.
So do you think that that's a sign right there with texting? Like, do you think if a guy just wants that attention, he's not confident in your relationship and he constantly wants you to text him constantly?
You just have to communicate. Like, look, I want you to know straight up that I won't be able to text you today. But know that I love you. By the way, I care about you.
This is someone that knows relationships, and it's Corinne from Survivor. I text her and said, give me some signs. And she said, if he has a burner phone. Bam.
Boom.
See? Yeah. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you know about that?
Yeah. I mean, like, you know about it, but I just think that that's so extra. Like, I've never had to really worry. Like,
tells you what she said. It tells you what you can and can't wear. Always has boys' night out, she said. She quotes it. Boys' night out.
That's terrible.
Way too often.
I want to know how people liked this conversation. I want to know how people receive this.
Well, we'll know by the numbers.
Yeah.
We'll know by the numbers. And guys, we have the Patreon group has a cruise that we're about to go on.
Yeah.
We have 15 rooms booked. 15 rooms right now booked, Libby.
Holy moly.
Libby's going to be there. We're going to have some other special guests from Survivor that's going to be there. I'm not going to say
we're going on a cruise,
the patrons know it.
7-day cruise.
Going on a cruise, y'all. And Libby's single, so if you're a good-looking man.
And that under cruise 30, is from...
under 35. Then you can,
when is the cruise, Russell?
The cruise is... I don't want to say when the cruise is because we'll have people book it that's not patrons. We need to make sure that we get all our patrons on board.
Yes,
before,
patrons get on the... But
so when the cruise
if I'm
is booked,
still single by the time of the cruise, I might be kind of mad.
Sometimes you need to just be single.
Oh, I've been single for a long time.
That's the thing.
Long time.
What if you get a guy, everything's booked, all of a sudden you get a guy and he says, you ain't going anywhere, you staying right here.
Then I'm breaking up with him. Hello. I can do what I want, boy.
So you're saying that, you're saying that's a sign.
It's a sign. Trying to tell a girl what to do and not do.
So
it's a sign.
If you want to be part of that, we do a lot in our Patreon page. We're going to start sponsoring things. I want to do things like that for the patrons. Also, we're getting you didn't know this, Livy, but we're getting a room from Carnival for me and you to be able to do our live show with the patrons on the boat.
Yes, that is so. That's so rad.
Everybody.
I love that. That is so cool.
So
Wow.
stuff like that is going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
Yes.
And we're trying to get some good names to come, some fun people. I just don't want big names. I want fun people to be with us.
Fun people. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I'm so pumped. So Patreons, please come. I want to meet you all. I want this cruise.
And I don't make it's fun. Nothing that I make.
Cruises
I ain't making nothing
favorite.
on the side.
I love cruises because I love the all you can eat food.
Yes. And I'm not making anything. It's nothing like that on the side. It is 100% going through a agency that books it. And I just made sure that we had 15 book. We already have, out of the 15, we already have 10 that's booked. And I need to get 3 rooms myself. So
you're saying we're there's 2 rooms left?
No, we're going to have to call back and we can add on to it.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to call and put another 5. So we'll end up having 20, 30 rooms.
Amazing.
We're going to
party, y'all. We're going to party.
We're gonna party, y'all.
We all can come work out with me. Yeah.
We can do the core workout. Core.
I'm all about that. I love to start with the core, but I love to work the arms. I like shoulders. Shoulders are my favorite thing to work. But yeah, and the booty. Gotta work
the booty. Out. Yes. Okay, so how many do we have on that list so far? Let's go ahead and break down the list. Let's go ahead and break down the top 10.
We need to wrap this up, you guys.
We're wrapping this up. You see, we ain't even talking Survivor, and we're talking more than an hour. That's like you get into these conversations.
Hours. Okay, so we have cheaters. Cheaters,
number 1. That's number 2. I think that's yes.
Mentally aggressive.
Which one would you put on top?
I would say mentally aggressive is 2, and physically aggressive is 3. Then jealousy, communication. We got halfway through the list.
Okay, well, you know what we did? We kind of put a whole bunch of them together. When you talk about jealousy, when you talk about lying, and it's just a whole bunch of cheating. They're burner phones. So I don't know. It's hard to
I think
lack
white
of communication.
Lies would be 10. White lies would be 10.
What about lack of communication?
We have 5. That's at 5.
Okay. White lies would be the worst. So to you,
no, white lies would be number 10.
Yeah, it would be the least.
Like the least worried because everybody lies.
And you could be lying. The white lie could be me saying, "Hey, you look good in that dress," when you don't, because that's what you want me to do.
And then I would say,
Libby wants you to lie to her if she looks bad. Anytime you look bad,
I said you need to approach. It's how you deliver it.
You need to kinda. Hey guys, we don't do good. Guys don't do good at delivering. So my advice to you guys is just say they look good.
That's right. Always say you look good. Because it's really you that matters, right? If girls tell you that you don't look good, allow your wife to be like, honey, we need to change that shirt. Or allow your girlfriend to be like, you got to change. Because I totally respect your fashion, but like you got to change. And then...
I went on a date with this girl I'm just a quick one. I went on a date with this girl and it was the first date and she had a shirt with letters on it. Kind of like the shirt you wearing now, Libby. And I'm like, this is the first date. You got shirt with letters on your shirt on our first date. It has letters on it. But I was like, I didn't say anything about it till after. I'm like, until we got in a relationship. Because it actually worked still. See? It was okay. We still started dating actually. So it was like a cute little redhead. Mm-hmm. The words didn't matter. by the end of the night. So it didn't matter how she looked.
Yeah.
But at first sight, I'm like, she has words on her shirt. We're about to go to a fancy restaurant. Like, I'm taking her to a fancy restaurant. She has words on her shirt, Libby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't do that.
But then
you
it worked.
Always, the boy,
we almost didn't get in because of the dress code.
Oh, yeah. You have to ask the dress code. You can't. Girls have to ask. You need to ask. Yeah. So, okay. Well, so we're going to keep these podcasts going every Monday.
Yeah.
Right? Some people are asking when the Top 100 Survivor video is coming out.
Somebody's asking what?
When the Top 100 Survivors are coming out.
Okay, that's going to happen. The reason it may not happen on the date we wanted it to is because we had to do a lot of research and get previous survivors. We have like 25 survivors that's actually interviewing, talking about other survivors. And Libby was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked about Dom and Wendell.
Yep. So we talk about different survivors. So because we're doing it because we're taking it a different level and bringing it up another notch by getting players like Hatch, Adam, Corinne, Libby, because we have players like that, definitely.
Yeah.
So this is going to keep going, guys. I know we didn't really break down the top 10 list, but you understand what we're saying. We're trying to help you. And Libby is wondering how you took this. If this was a good show or not, please comment in the section below to let us know if you enjoy this type of conversation, because it would help us. If you don't enjoy it, then we don't want to talk about it. We want to talk about things that everybody enjoys.
Remember that I have noted all of the messages that I've gotten from people asking what they want us to talk about. So this was something that we wanted to talk about with you guys. So, and that was discussed prior, but like we still are going to keep your topics and your subjects into consideration and keep bringing those up and answering your questions. We appreciate those. So just make sure that if you have something that if you want to talk about, just message us. No, because we love
message us. We'll talk about it. We're going to have different topics that we talk about every Monday, and we're going to see how this works. We don't really know right now how people are going to perceive us talking about other things besides Survivor. Survivor's probably always going to come up, maybe in every single conversation, because it's part of our life. So that's okay. But we're going to talk about other things. This is Brandon, by the way, Libby. You know my nephew,
Hi,
Brandon. He has Hance Nation. He's trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and if he does, he's getting a tattoo of the Russell Hance logo on his body.
What a dude. Yeah. Man, that's great.
Isn't that amazing? So we appreciate you guys for listening.
Thank you guys so much.
If you enjoy it, guys, you that's listening on the podcast, it's much better if you watch this in person. You can listen to it. That's fine. If you're working and you want to listen to it, then listen to it. But when you get home, you might want to watch it too, because I have a YouTube face. Libby has a radio face. It changed.
Thanks, Russell.
And that's our list, guys. Like I said, we didn't number it like we wanted to, but it's getting a little late. You just don't cheat. That's number one. Don't cheat.
Yeah, don't be a cheater.
Don't be a cheater. And I think that people like this type of conversation, Libby. I think we did a good job.
I think it was received.
Comment below. If you thought it was terrible, the conversation, then let us know. See, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I hit things and I don't want to hit them. So I don't know what. Sometimes I accidentally hit the wrong thing. But it's okay. So, guys, we appreciate it. And good talk, Libby. The cruise is going to be a blast.
I can't
It's going to be fun. Libby has her cup. Check the cup out. See, mine's different style.
Cheers,
Mine
guys.
has the Patreon group. She has the original one, which is better. I need to get one like that.
Yeah, I drink throat coat every night. Helps me keep my voice alive. You could tell it's always raspy. So
and my son's going to start doing your core workout, by the way. He's a runner. He needs his core worked out.
Good. Every
So
Friday.
where does he go, Libby? Where does he go to be able to do that with you, and how often can he?
So every day I coach 2 classes a day on FM Midtown Nashville's Live, and we're going to keep it up every day. Even after our studio is opened, I have a live production studio in our studio, so that is going to be my thing every morning. But also on my Instagram, I do a live workout on Instagram every Friday at noon Central Time. So y'all can definitely do that with me.
I'm not going to be able to keep telling my story about my dead cat story, Libby. It's amazing. I've talked about it 2 different times on 2 different podcasts. I can't keep talking about it, guys.
No.
And everybody wants me to talk about it again because I guess they want to see your reaction.
I don't like
it's a good, no, it's a solid story, Libby. Solid.
Okay,
I'll tell you on the cruise when we're drinking margaritas in Costa Rica. Costa Rica.
Colada. It's my favorite drink.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all watching.
All
and
right.
until next time, keep hope alive.
I love my raspy voice. Bye, guys.